Hello, hi dear guys, welcome to on my YouTube channel. I am come back with a new video, new perspective to the learning the English. In the last video, I had to share for the something the factor affecting to English communications. Today is also I am to just to focusing on that factor. First, I can to share for the listening skill is also as well. Second is the observations. Third is the practice listening and observations. This is really important. Whenever you can to just listen anything, suppose you want to the learning for the something like for any car driving as well as swimming. I have to share for this thing, okay, that etc. In the beginning the mistake happens, it's normal, okay. And let's move on the another topic. Observations is very important. Whenever you have to observation skill to adapt, it is really important in the English communication skill, because you can to listen for the podcast on YouTube channel as well as another for the any content for the English 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It is really helpful for to observations to listening as well as observe for the that accent, fluency, as well as where there to pause here. This is the sentence, it's like this. You can to observe that. Yes, I know it is not directly speak for the speaking like for me is also, but you can to observe that. Whenever you have to just comment, that is factor common is that factor only to observations. Why? Because the whenever you have to observe something, you realize that okay, this is sentence is like this, and automatically in your brains to capture these things naturally. And whenever we are to so many mistake that's persons that happens, because the whenever we wanna to the learning the English is naturally like you and me speaking for the casual conversations is the naturally, it is really important, okay, this is happen. But that is naturally how to that adapt for the skill, because in our school that is to subject wise to learning the English like grammatical rules like structure for subject plus was where plus ing plus object. This is the past continuous tense. This is like okay, but this is the subject wise. In the casual conversations how to speak we are like for i was I was working in the last year in their company. There to I was there. Okay, this is the use for the was, and there to ing. I was working in the last year to 3 years in the company. This is the like sentence you can to make in the casual conversations, and you forcefully and reinforce to include for that sentence in that in our communication skill, because it's enhanced in your words as well as vocabulary. And another factor is I can to say for listening is very important, okay, because you have to listen for the something podcast in the American podcast, in the English conversations as well to British, any accent you have to require, okay. And it is really important. You like for the American accent, British accent, it depends on any individual persons, it not depends on the any other persons, okay, it's like my accent and why. But it doesn't matter any accent, American as well as British accent, it doesn't matter. You can to just really speak for the very neutral to our Indian accent. But you know, for only thing is the we are to speaking the English, the front person how to understand the English. You know, whenever the front persons to understand the easier to English, it is well, that's it. Don't focus on that. And after that in your to you have to speak the very good command on the English, then to after that the fluency as well as accent that to come. But right now in the beginning you can to just focus on the observations, listening, practice, reading. These are all factors to matters. Whenever these all those factors to gather to one side in your mind, that's to come here to automatic you can to speak, because the why, this is the really thing important. Whenever this is the gather all these things like grammar as well as you have to practice consistency, because it's very important. and this is to results that's to come here in. It will be the next month, it will be the 2 month, sometimes it will be the next week is also. It is not happens to prompt suddenly, it is happen to after that, because the ever natural things like you have to adapt for the skill, you have to listening the podcast as well as anything, that's automatically in your brains to starting for the processing in your neurons, that's to capture for the all informations in your neurons. Okay, sometimes procrastinations happen. Okay, you are to fumble like, that's all okay, because it's parts of the processes. Whenever you have to adapt for any skill as well as to learning any things, and some failure that's to come here, it is the part of the processes. Why? You suppose you have to one goals, you want to the going to other side, like you want to the going on the traveling as well as something is the another country as well as another district. What they're to doing, you just do requirement for the any travels as well as any car, any bicycles, any motors, you have to require. And sometimes is there's to some problems that's to come here, your tires is just puncture, and something that's happens, you have not very perfect on the driving, but you will do improving for in your driving skill. Something is the failure that's to come here, this is the part of the processes. And don't be afraid, don't be shy, and don't be coy, because why? Whenever you have to just shy as well as coy, to you can't to just for not open out, you haven't to speak any word of English. Something that's wrong happens, like I am not very speak very well fluency, I am just my pronunciation is not well, you can to do it, you can to just work on that. And other is also, and enjoyable, this is the journey you can to make just enjoyable. Whenever you can to just make for the enjoyable journey, you can to just learning more and more naturally. This is the my all about this, that's things to I can to share for you, and any persons they want to the learn